50% of our gas compared to Europe. And then you say we cannot use our own gas. We now have 600 million people without power. Where is that morally? How can you beat that, you know? And that was 6 days before Ukraine invasion. When say, oh my God, you know, now we have no gas, let's go to Africa now and get African gas. So all now investing in African gas because you need the gas. So we need some really consistency here. I will not use the word morality because you are here, I don't use tough words, okay? But we need some more, here, Natalie, you're not, I thought you went to sleep. We need to, the initiative on the African carbon market, the president interested to link with that because also of his conference, so unimportant. Can you please
yes.
sort it out? Thank you very much. Right, we'll move now a little bit from the global issues because I think we don't have much time, maybe, I don't know, to the region here. And if I look at the map, you are an island in a troubled neighborhood. Maybe Tanzania is good, is at least safe enough at the moment, and I hope to stay safe. But you have soldiers in 3 countries around you, people trying, peacekeepers to pacify things, etc. That may end up being 4. If we send people to my country in Sudan, we're going to need your soldiers, by the way, there sometime. Now, this is a tough situation for you because this neighborhood is not nice. Really, it's not nice. I mean, I mean, of course, beautiful countries, but what's going on is not nice. Does Kenya feel a little bit anxious? I mean, with all these things around you in the border, do you feel a little bit insecure here as Kenyan that with all these crazy guys around us, what's going to happen here?
Well, it is true that we live in a tough neighborhood.
Yeah.
Because we have a 1,000-kilometer border with Somalia, which has not had a functional government for 40 years, 30-something years. We have a border with South Sudan. They have major challenges. We have in the neighborhood also in DRC, where we have our soldiers trying to pacify the eastern DRC. We take it as a responsibility because we know that our stability, our security is intricately intertwined with the stability of our region.
Yeah.
And we believe using the architecture that exists, whether it is East African Community, IGAD, or indeed I was having a frank conversation with my brother Musa Faki as the AU, that it is really time that as a continent, and I shared my thoughts with Musa Faki, that as a continent, we must take charge of our destiny.
Yes.
We must take charge of our security. 60 years after the formation of the Africa Union, we cannot continue to depend on Europe, the EU, the US, China, and I don't know which other place, to manage our own affairs. I think it is time. And that is why we took the decision in DRC. We didn't look for resources from I don't know which organization. We used Kenyan resources.
Wagner, you heard about Wagner?
Yeah, we are at Uganda. We agreed that every country should deploy troops using their own resources because we need to take charge of our region. These are our issues. We need to deal with the security of our region because if we do not deal with the security of our region, we are foregoing opportunities of investment, of job creation,
Yes.
of growing our economies, and we are basically working against ourselves.
Without peace, there is no development.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
So,
But let me ask you a question.
Even the situation in Sudan, we were having a conversation, I know it's your country, we are having a conversation in Uganda day before yesterday.
Yeah.
And we were having the conversation on how IGAD, unfortunately the chairmanship of IGAD is currently in Sudan. So it becomes very difficult because...
Here is Sudanese guy, make him chairman, yeah. In absence of a legal government, we volunteer this guy.
In fact, when Sudan was given the chairmanship, it was because of Hamdok here, when it was a civilian government. But now we have a general, So that is our region. So we were having that a candid conversation because we believe it is our responsibility.
Yeah.
We were having a conversation with Musa yesterday because we believe as AU, we should sort out these problems.
Let me ask you a question here.
And we have what it takes to sort out these problems.
That's wonderful, but instead of one country bearing the brunt, I mean, this is costly also.
It is.
Developing your boys to go and do this, I mean, it's very costly. There was a proposal many years ago, and correct me if I'm wrong, our chairman. You guys decided to have a standing army for Africa. And that was many years ago. Where is that army? Why? That was a decision made. People said, look, we need, if there is terrorists took place here, these guys took over this country, we need to have a ready standby force, which ready under the command of the African Union, and it will go and do it. And instead of sitting back, oh, France, come help, Britain, America, come help, why those guys should come and help us?
They should
why
not.
should come and fight our wives?
They should not come and help
It's
us.
our own fights. And then we brag. We say we have half the world population in young people. Where are those young people? Go and fight your country, And maybe we bring you the conversation. My brother Musa, tell us, where is your army?
I think we should not disturb Musa. Musa, I perfectly understand.
He's your friend.
No, he's not. He perfectly understands. We have the wrong architecture in the management of the Africa Union.
Yes.
Yeah?
I'm glad you said that. Yeah, okay, not me. Yeah.
Musa Faki, who is the chair of our Africa Union Commission, can do very little because we have retained all the powers as heads of state.
Right.
And yet, you cannot run one country and run the continent of Africa. Right? We seriously need an interrogation of the management of the Africa Union. Today, we cannot even support Somalia. We are waiting for EU to give us $85 million. $85 million. We cannot fund it as AU. It is stupid. I mean,
my brother,
it is madness. So are you telling me 54 countries, 60 years after independence, they cannot manage 85 million to sort out Somalia, which has no government? Let me.
I just want to ask him, sorry, I want to ask you a question. He's my brother, but we need to talk frankly. How many African countries did not pay their dues this year? Please tell us. Don't name, but tell us how many. How many countries did not pay
their contribution?
The contribution this year?
I think the majority paid.
Majority paid. This is the answer of a diplomat.
Yeah, let us not put Musa in trouble.
No, but these are facts. It's not, I mean, I'm not naming countries. I'm saying African countries do not respect their own union. If you don't respect your own union, nobody respects you. Full stop. And then, the same guys who don't pay their contribution, They go to this international meeting and say, oh, African sovereignty, African solution for African problems, Africa this, Africa that. Come on, guys. What is this? We need to be credible. If we believe we have an African Union, we need to have an African voice, we need to do it. My understanding is your operational budget, my brother, is really paid by the European Union. It's a fact. This is a public knowledge. It's not secret or whatever. We are not paying for our own operational budget for African Union. We are not. And then we said, okay, we're going to have a standing army under the African Union. And we went and talked to Europeans with big arguments about, oh, we don't give arms, we don't. Ukraine changed all that. Now, Europeans are willing to give arms if needed. And we say to them, instead of sending troops, come and arm this Africa Standing Force. That solve your problem, solve our problem, and you guys don't like Wagner. That's the way not to get Wagner. Our boys go and do the fight, but we need the helicopters, we need...
Let me say this more.
Yeah.
Let me say this, to save our faith.
Yeah.
That,
you started this, not me.
Yes. We have a challenge. And the positive thing is that there is a realization that it cannot continue this way.
What you going to do? How to going to fix the African Union?
It cannot continue this way.
How are you going to fix it?
We have what it takes to fix it. And the conversation is already begun on what do we realistically do to be able to get the African Union to take charge of the affairs of our continent. Let me give you a case in point. We decided, for example, that we are going to assemble our market using the Africa Continental Free Trade Area market.
Yes, that's a good decision.
Ecosystem.
Yeah.
And the positive thing is that it was unbelievable at the rate at which we were able to achieve consensus and we were able to achieve ratification. And I want to tell you, it is among the things that happened in the shortest time possible. It tells you there is greater realization that unless we act in concert, unless we act together, we are unlikely to make any impact anywhere.
How many African presidents are on board?
We have, at least on the market issue, we have put that together. There is a debate that is going to evolve. Like, for example, we have also decided that it will not going to be business as usual. We have these meetings, Africa-US meeting, Africa-Europe, Africa-Turkey, Africa...
India.
Now we are waiting for, there is another one, Africa-Russia.
And Africa-Japan.
And Africa-Japan. We have made the decision that it is not intelligent for 54 of us to go and sit before one gentleman from another place. And I mean, and sometimes we are mistreated.
Yeah.
You know, we are loaded into buses like school kids. You know, and it's not right.
Well, you are summoned. You know,
it's not right. So the decision that we have made as AU is that going forward, if there is going to be a discussion between Africa and any other country, we are going to be represented by the chair, the outgoing chair, the bureau. Let us
chair of the commission or the chair
and the chair of the Rex, and we have 5 Rex. That should be sufficient for, I mean, a meeting of maybe 6, 7. Yeah. That should be able to represent Africa, and that is the position I am taking as the president of Kenya. For any other meeting that we are going to have with all these requests that we have a meeting between Africa and one other country. We respect the sovereignty of others. I think to ask for reciprocation is not to ask for too much.
No.
And for us to agree that let us have this kind of setup, The only, because I had a conversation with President Kagame, and he actually led that particular position. I have had a conversation with Prime Minister Abiy. He believes very strongly that that should be the position of our continent. Because, as you have said, if we don't respect ourselves, nobody is going to respect us. And we should be able to take that kind of decision. Yeah. And part of that respecting ourselves is when we say African problems, African solutions, we must be serious about the solutions. It cannot be rhetoric. It cannot be talk. It must be accompanied by what realistically and practically we are doing.
And what is our capacity? Yeah.